Hey, so buddies, you're highly welcome to this YouTube space. And if this is your first time here, you're highly welcome. In this video, we're going to make this trendy backless dress with halter neck. So if this is something you're interested in, do well and keep watching and do not touch the dial. I'll be making use of this Ankara fabric and also the tiny elastic. I will actually be making this for a child, but it's actually the same method for cutting for both a child and an adult. So for an adult, you need 3 yards of fabric, and for a child, you need about 1.5 yards of fabric. Also, in this video, I want to try out something new, so I will need your honest opinion in the comment section. I want to try out another method of making my tutorial video, and that is the silent method, where I don't get to do voiceovers, but I just get to write out every info you need to know when making a particular style. So just let me know in the comment section if you like this, and if you do not like this method of tutorial, also let me know in the comment section. Your opinion sincerely matters. Thank you. So let's begin the tutorial on this backless dress with halter neck. Moving on, it's now time to start imputing the measurements, and the first step is to divide the shoulder measurement by 2 and mark it out. So the shoulder measurement I'm working with is 10 inches, divided by 2 gives me 5. So from the pointed part of this fabric, I will locate the 5 inches width and mark it out with a straight line. You can also decide to add 2 more extra inches to what you got and mark it out, and this will increase the gathers or the foldings around the neckline. Next step is to mark out the length for the dress. In placing the tape, if it's for an adult, you know the regular neck depth is 3 inches. Your tape will have to be placed at 3 inches at the shoulder mark. But because it's for a child, the regular neck depth is 2 inches. So I'm placing the tape at the 2 inches mark on the straight line while marking out the desired length of this dress for the child, which is 21 inches. So after marking it round like so, I'll go ahead and connect the dots together to get a curve like this. Next, from the gown length, I'll come down by 1 inch to get the aiming allowance. And I'll go ahead and also connect the dots together to give me a curve like so. Moving on, it's time to mark out the armhole depth, and to get your armhole depth, you divide your round bust measurement by 6 plus 1.5. And after calculating for the armhole depth, I got 4.8 inches. So in marking this out, remember for an adult, you place your tape at the 3 inches mark, while for a child, you place your tape at the 2 inches mark. So I placed my tape at the 2 inches mark on the straight line, and I went ahead to mark out 4.8 inches, which is the armhole depth. Now from the side on that armhole depth mark, I'll come in by half an inch, and I'll go ahead and curve from the straight line to the half an inch mark like this to the side, towards the side. Now it's time to mark out the back waist length. That is how deep you want the dress to be at the back. So for this dress, I want it to be 9 inches deep, and you can see the way I'm placing my tape. I'm taking note of the neckline by placing my tape on the 2 inches mark. So remember, for an adult it's 3 inches. So I placed my tape on the 2 inches mark, and I'm marking out the 9 inches. That is the deepness I want for the back. So you can either go ahead and mark out the back waist length, or go ahead and measure how deep you want it at the back for your dress. Moving on the side from the back waist length, I'll go up by 1 inch and then I'll connect it back to the back waist length line. This gives the back curve a U shape. So when I open it up, you can see the U shape it is given. So this is it for the back pattern. Now that the back pattern is ready, I decided to spice it up a bit by adding a second layer to this back pattern to make the dress more childlike. So I just measured half of this back pattern and I use it to cut out the length for the other layers, and for the width I made it double the width so that it will give that gather. So this is me cutting out the second layer, but I didn't get to show much of this because this is not really part of the tutorial. Moving on, it's time to sew this piece together to get the beautiful dress. And the first step is to sew the hem of the patterns. And to do that, I'll fold in 1/2 inch twice and run a straight stitch on the edges of the folding. Moving on to the edges on the neckline, I'll just cut out a strip of fabric that is 1 inch wide and I'll use it as a bias to turn the edge of the neckline. I'll bring it in and place it on the right side of the fabric on the neckline and stitch it down using 0.25 inch. I will also bring in the back pattern and repeat the same thing on it. I'll go ahead and turn the hem of the back pattern and also cut out a long strip of fabric that is 1 inch wide and stitch it down to the right side of the back waistline, and after which I'll flip it over to the wrong side and fold in few inches and stitch on the edge of this strip of fabric. But because I added a second layer to this back pattern, I will go ahead and stitch it down to the back waistline first before I will turn the hem of the waistline with the long strip of fabric that I cut out as a bias. So I'll go ahead and do all of this and I'll come back and show you. So buddies, do you enjoy the silent moments when I just get to write out just the instructions, or you prefer the voiceover where I get to say every step that I am doing? This is the back pattern. I have sewn in the second layer and I've also stitched down the strip of fabric to the right side of the fabric. Now I'll go ahead and create a channel here by flipping over the strip of fabric to the wrong side, and I will fold in 0.25 inch and stitch on the edge here to the other side like so. So this is it. I have done that. And now it's time to bring in the tiny elastic and pass it through this channel on the back waistline. So to cut out the elastic, I subtracted 5 inches from the shoulder measurement and I used it to cut out the elastic. So since the shoulder measurement I was making use of is 10 inches, minus 5 gives me 5 inches. So this elastic is 5 inches long. I'll go ahead and pass this through the channel and I'll stitch it down to both sides of the back waist length, and this also applies to that of an adult. I will go ahead and do this off the camera and bring it back in. So after doing it, this is what I have, and I've used my pins to hold it down temporarily at the side here. So now I'll go ahead and stitch it down to the sides. After doing that, I'll bring in the front pattern and place the right side of the front pattern on the right side of the back pattern, and it's time to close up the sides. So I'll go ahead and close up the sides starting from the hem using 1 inch sewing allowance, and I'll also go ahead and do the same thing on the other side as well. After closing up the side, it's now time to maintain the edges of the sides on the front pattern. And to do that, you know, when carving out the armhole on the front pattern, it gives a sharp edge here. So I will need to slightly trim off this sharp point to blend it into the sides of the front pattern. And that is what I'm doing on both sides. After doing this, I'll go ahead and fold in 1/2 inch twice towards the wrong side of the fabric, and I will run a stitch on the edge, same thing I did while turning the hem of the patterns, and that is how I'll go ahead and maintain the edges of the sides here. I will go ahead and sew this off the camera. Next, I've gone ahead to cut out a long strip of fabric that is about 1.5 inches wide, and since this dress is for a child, I made it 40 inches long, but for an adult it can be 50 or 60 inches long. And I went ahead to fold it over into two and close it up on the wrong side, and I'll also close up both ends of the rope, leaving just about 1 inch on the side to flip it over to the right side. This is just to create a rope for the neckline. After doing this, the next step is to go ahead and create a channel on the neckline for the rope to pass through. And to do that, I'll just go ahead, flip over the long strip of fabric that I've stitched to the neckline before now. I'll flip it over to the wrong side and fold in 0.25 inch and stitch on the edge from one side to the other side. Moving on, this is the long strip of fabric that I have sewn into a rope, and as you can see, it's quite long, and like I earlier stated, it is 40 inches long. For an adult it can be 50 or 60. So I'll go ahead and close up this open space using either Amy gum or just using a stitch to close it up. And do not forget to iron after every stitch, and also weave the rough edges of the sewing seams. And now this is me passing the rope through the channel that I've created on the neckline, and after passing the rope, this is what I have, as you can see. So the dress is ready. I will go ahead and wear this on a child mannequin, and this is it. It's on the child mannequin, and you can see the front. It's so beautiful. Like I stated earlier on, if you want more gathers around the neckline, then add 2 or 3 inches to the shoulder measurement while marking it out. So this is the back, and it is looking beautiful. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you find this video helpful, do it to hit on that subscribe button, and don't forget to click on the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I drop a new video. Also, do not forget to give this video a thumbs up and share this video. So see you on my next video. Love ya. Mwah.